As peaceful protests take place worldwide, there has also been unrest and incidents of looting in many areas across our nation, along with our communities. And here to give us his perspective on how we can continue to support our local businesses is minority business owner Rick Mirza. Hey, Rick, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
You are in support of the peaceful protests that have been happening worldwide, but you also have fallen victim to some of the looting that has taken place. All four of your T-Mobile stores, including one here in Sacramento, I mean, they've all been affected. You were going to pick up a store in downtown that was affected. So tell us, how are you feeling? How important is it that we come together as a community to show support to our local business community?
Sure. It's right now it's a lot of mixed emotions, a lot of questions, obviously, and then worry. Of course, safety is first and foremost, and I hope that everyone that is protesting out there is doing so peacefully and making sure that they're getting their point across in a way that we can all be safe and be heard. As far as moving forward, we're doing our part to be able to pull together not just our employees in our brick and mortar stores, but our employees here at headquarters and say, what can we do to really do our part and help clean up the communities that are now lying in despair? So we've started by helping other businesses board up what we may help them with now that are located in our own shopping centers that we're located in, among other strip centers around our stores.
Rick, how did you feel when you saw what was happening? A lot of people, there's been talk, we built these businesses. Is it hard to see something be affected in kind of a destructive way?
Absolutely. Like myself, there are millions of small business owners, minority small business owners around the country who built these businesses from the ground up. And they aren't franchised businesses like ours, like say T-Mobile or other restaurant and hospitality brands. They're much smaller and mom and pop deli shops, convenience stores, etc. Those business owners are not going to be able to recover at a pace, say, such as other mediums to larger size businesses. So that really worries me.
Yeah, but it sounds like you still have a very positive outlook and you still are supportive of what the protesters stand for, not necessarily the looters, but the protesters. We also have seen positive come out with community members. They're volunteering to clean up after these recent unfortunate events. Some of them, they even show up with their own brooms to help with cleanup.
Right. I think it's very important to be able to, again, do your part in every way, shape, or form. And, protesting is everyone's right, having our voices and opinions heard. And things should change from that, I believe. And in the same regard, you should be able to go back to those communities that you were protesting in the streets of and be able to help the small business owners and the community at large to be able to pull back together. I believe it starts with everyone individually and then, it goes from there.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely seems like people are coming together. Now, the Sacramento mayor, he talked about these being unique times, a double whammy for many of these businesses, especially with the pandemic. We're still in the middle of it. How has business been for you?
Business was starting to get back to what we would say normal post-COVID, but we were hit with all of this all at once. So as if COVID didn't do enough to really throw a wrench in things, the protests and then the break-ins and riots and looting, that really put a whole new spin on what we had to do to be able to survive and move forward. So what we're doing is continuing to stick to our business plan. We have a few acquisitions that we had planned there in Sacramento that we will delay for now, but we will stay committed to being able to realize those in the near future.
Well, we do need our businesses to come back. And you have a few different businesses. You have several, actually. What advice can you offer for the community that they want to help some of these businesses in need? What else can they do?
Supporting these businesses other than just to clean up and getting back to normal is go shop at your local businesses. Speak to your local businesses and see if there's something that the community at large can do. Something that I've seen others do is be able to have local movements for supporting local small business owners and their businesses throughout the cities and communities they're in. So make it a point to go to your local mom and pop deli shop. Make it a point to go to the local small business owner selling bagels, etc., and be able to support that economy in your local city. I think it starts there.
And many of your stores are electronic retailers, so they're considered essential businesses. How have your stores been able to update some of their safety precautions in light of coronavirus?
So aside from the obvious social distancing guidelines, as far as putting markers on the floors where customers and or employees may and may not keep a certain amount of distance, to back office training, to making sure that we are only allowing a certain amount of people in areas that are too confined for larger groups. And then to training our staff, back office as well as on the sales floor, to be able to know how to move forward, taking temperatures of employees as they come in and being able to see if there's anybody coughing, report that, making sure there's face covering. So everything that we've seen, both the city, the state, and the federal government require for other businesses and themselves to do, we've really taken that and made it something as part of our moving forward business plan.
And Rick, we don't want to forget about your employees. How have they been holding up with, all of the changes and just all the recent events that have happened?
Now, I'm on the phone every day since COVID began, making sure I'm hearing all the stories and keeping in touch with our employees. And it's, like I said earlier, a lot of mixed emotions, a lot of fear, of uncertainty of what the future is going to hold. So we're doing our part by making sure our employees know that there's a place to come back to, that we are here for them, not just as far as their work family, but as family that can support them until we are all out of this and back to work.
All right, Rick Mirza, minority business owner, we really appreciate you coming on the show today, sharing some of your insight and advice when it comes to small and local businesses. Thank you so much.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.